Welcome back out to the shop. Let's see. What day is it today? I don't even know. 3 days after Monday. It's a Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning. We put the last episode of the saga of the Sidney Lathe. We put the gearbox into the parts washer. Since then, I came out and I flipped it over, looked at the gearing. Everything's cleaned up really, really good. Just scrubbed on it just a little bit, not very much at all, and decided it needed to soak some more. So I flipped it back over, so we're back to the paint side up, or the outside part out. So the bubbles will go up into the case and kind of just, loosen all that stuff up. There was a bunch of stuff just encrusted into the case. And like I said, if I don't have to tear it apart, I'm not going to tear it apart. So I wanted to get all that crud that was behind all them gears out. So every once in a while, I'd get over there and turn the bubbles on. And now it's Wednesday morning, probably, 10, 11 o'clock, probably 11 o'clock. And I'm going to take it out and we're going to rinse it with hot water. So everything's looking good. In the meantime, I've started trying to see to get this pump back to primed. And I should have put oil in it before I put it all back together. But now that I did, the only thing I have is this small 1/8" line or 5/32 line to get oil down in. And so every once in a while I put a drop of oil in it, let it sleep down. So I hope everything works right on it. If not, we're going to have to take the cover back off, and then, however many squirts of whey oil's in there, I'm going to waste, but it's no big deal. But we're definitely got to get that pump working. So I was mistaken thinking that pump fed this part up here too. But I don't believe it does. Oh, it does. It goes through the, I'm sorry, it does. So this is whey oil up here. I thought it needed to be lubricating oil. When it travels up into the distribution block that's underneath the saddle, it goes from there and it drops down into this hole. So it is whey oil that does all this lubricating up in here. So we're good with that. I thought I was mistaken. I want to clarify, but my brain just engaged and I realized what it does. So I think we're good with the whey oil. Let's see. So with that, I think we'll get over there and get the gearbox out and take a look at it. I need to get some hot water, so as soon as I get some hot water from the house, we'll take it out and put it into the rinse bin, and then we'll rinse it off right quick and put it on the table and take a look at it. So we'll be right back. All right, so let's go ahead and get this out and have a look at it. And we're going to let it drip dry while I go get some hot water. So first thing we're going to do is hook the crane up without smashing my TV. I need to put a stop in the wall so I don't tear that TV up that I just installed. That would be bad to have the end of the jib crane fly into the TV while I'm doing this. But anyway, so let's see what this is going to look like. Hopefully everything looks really good on it. Let's give it a couple swooshes here. Oh yeah, look at there. I almost took all the original paint off. Yeah, that looks really good. So, and I don't have gloves on, so this is going to be very, oh yeah, look at that. Cleaned right up. I mean, that was very minimal effort. All we did was, put it, and fire call. Or EMS call, I should say. Maybe. We're back. Somebody needed a little help, so. And our fire department has paid people during the day, so they're really close to it. So we're going to let them handle it. So, look at it. There's very little that's scrubbing off, so pretty much that's embedded in there. I love the grinder marks from the OG, machinist back in the day that built this thing. I love it. So, I contemplated sanding all that stuff smooth and all that, but I kind of like it. I mean, that's part of the history of the machine. So now the only thing I hope for is that the gear side looks as good as this side does. So we're going to lift it up and let it drip for a little bit. And then I'm going to go get some water and we'll move it over to the rinse table and have a closer look at it. I really want to see the gears in it. I'm very happy with this side. So we'll flush this side just a little bit, and then we'll flip it over and rinse the other side, and then we'll get it to the table, or blow it off really good, and then we'll get it to the table. So we'll be right back. All right. So we got the we got it out. We're going to put on our trusty gloves here because that purple power will eat up your hands. It takes oil off of 75-year-old lathe. It's going to take oil out of 53-year-old hands. Thought I'd show you these, the race and the taper bearing that came out, one of them, and of course all the other bearings of the apron. But man, everything still looks really good. I wouldn't have had a problem if I couldn't find them to reuse these. So anyway, back to this. So we're going to get this over here onto the table. You know what, I'm spinning around here. Let's engage this so it don't fly out everywhere. Ouch. Get your fingers out of the way though. So we'll go down right here. And I really don't want to unhook it, so, because I'm going to have to lift it all right back up. So let's just get it out of the way, sort of. Like that. So I hope you can see all that. Let me take a peek in the camera here. Oh yeah. So you can see it looks pretty good. I mean, there's very little, some of the gray paint coming off of it. So we'll just take our hot water. This is why I want that hot water heater over here. This is as hot a water as my water heater in the house will make. Of course, I'm sure it cooled down a little bit coming out here. But all we're going to do is give it a real quick brushing off. And then we're going to give it a quick rinse. And then we're going to air dry it with the air nozzle. That's the reason there's an air nozzle right here. Is so we can rinse or get all that water off of it. I'm sure it's going to flash rust anyway. So we'll go back over it before we paint it with Scotch-Brite. And then we'll paint it. But man, it looks really good. I'm really happy. So we'll just, like I said, just do this a little bit. Just knock off all the big stuff. I'm not really interested in getting the paint off more as I am getting all the purple power off right now. But if I can do both, that's what we're going to do. All right, so that's about that. So we'll dip this out of pan here and just rinse it off. All right, so that's that side. Now, this is what I want to see. This caked on side. Oh, did I say it's heavy? Oh yeah, man. That thing looks good. It took all of it. We're good on the inside. It took all that crap off. I mean, it's just falling out. So I have no doubt that it's as clean as, you know, I can get it. I love that parts washer. That's another thing. You know, the jib crane and the parts washer, if you like doing this kind of stuff, man, I highly encourage you to build both of them. I mean, I've got, in the parts washer, there's what, $150 worth of metal and a day's worth of welding, you know, cutting and welding. I think me and my brother had that thing welded up, or he had it. I didn't do any welding, but he had it welded up in 3 or 4 hours. So, and then you have a big 200-gallon parts washer. I mean, you can make it as big as you want. Purple Power is not that expensive. You know, I didn't want to use any solvent, but oh, this looks good. So, we're going to do the same thing. There ain't much scrubbing that needs to be done there. Yeah, it's just pushing it all right out. Looks good. So let me turn it over a little more if I can. I say it weighs a ton without smashing my fingers. I'm very happy. Very, very, very happy. So let's get the air nozzle. I'll cut the video off here because I know you don't want to hear this all for the next 5 minutes. All right, well, I've got it about as cleaned off as I'm gonna do it. So let's move it over to the table. Try to do it as safe as we can. Stress testing the crane. So here we go. I tell you what, I'm gonna reposition the camera so you can see how this thing works. So let me move this and I'll be right back. So move that. Let's go ahead and take my safety rope off of here so it's just not hanging in the way. I don't know how many times I about forgot to put that on there and that chain would be gone. All right, down we go. So jib crane. But this is looking really good. So we're gonna finish blowing it off. I'm gonna try and get this around so you can see a shot of the gears because it really turned out nice. It looks really clean. Put this back over here without pinching my fingers anyway. So there you go. I mean, it cleaned all that mess up. Of course, you know, it's hard to turn. Well, shouldn't do this, but you know. Oh, I got it locked in. Oh, anyway, it looks really good. We'll probably go ahead and finish drying this out, and then we'll go ahead and tear some of it apart, and then take the handles and stuff off. I really want to see if this handle will match the ones that are on the front of the Gearbox. If they do, I can use this one or this one as a pattern. Those were broke off, or a couple of them were broke off. I think I have one good one, but hopefully all the holes are in the same spot on the handles themselves, and they just drilled and run the taper pins in it. So I'm hoping that way. At least I have a good pattern for one. And then we're going to go ahead and make those. I'll either have them machined or we'll fabricate them and weld them up, and then, you know, sand them all back down. There's my woodworker stuff. Grind them all back down and get them looking good. So I'm very, very pleased with this. It looks very good. So very happy. So let's get this taking some stuff apart. So let me grab some more tools and then we'll be back.